In 1947, when Pakistan came into being, Pakistan had to face a lot of problems, financial problems and administrative problems and many other problems. But on the top of those all problems, it has to face the problem of language. It means it has to decide which should be the national language of Pakistan. She, being a new country, a new state, uh, and a multilingual state where there were number of languages were spoken. Almost 300 languages were spoken in the country. Among them, the top two were and the competition were Bengali and Urdu, and it was really difficult that which language they should select. As we know that Pakistan is a multilingual state where there are a number of languages are spoken. Before 1971, East Pakistan was also the part of Pakistan, and since after the birth of the country, Pakistan had to decide about the national language of the state. In East Pakistan, mostly Bengali is spoken, whereas West Pakistan is a more multilingual part where Punjabi, Pashto, Sindhi, Balochi, and many other regional languages are spoken. If we see among the cultural characteristics of a nation, language presumes the topmost status because language is the representative of the nation. It represents the cultural heritage of the nation, the way of the living, and it's the most important. Language is the way of communication. It's the mean of communication. So, language presumes the topmost status in culture of a nation. The formers of the constitution sensed the importance and took several months to resolve the issue. They took almost 9 years to resolve this issue, but with passing day, the issue was getting more complicated rather than it's going to be resolved. In initial days, Pakistan has to face a lot of problems because of the language decision about the national language. Since after the independence, after almost 7 years, in May 1954, the formers of constitution presented a formula to the Constituent Assembly, which was accepted by the Constituent Assembly, though it was unable to satisfy anybody. According to this formula, the official language of Pakistan Republic should be Urdu and Bengali, and such other languages as declared by the head of the state on recommendation of provincial legislature. It means there will be two official languages of Pakistan. One is Urdu and the second being Bengali. Beside these two languages, and if any other languages is recommended by the provincial legislature and endorsed by the head of the state, that will be also considered an official language of the country. Members of parliament should have right to speak in Urdu, Bengali and English. It means the all parliamentarians were allowed to speak three languages, Urdu, Bengali and English of their own choice. And the third point was that notwithstanding anything with above article, for a period of 20 years from the commencement of the constitution, English should be used for the official matters. It means without altering the above mentioned two articles, that is the decision about the official languages and the right to speak for the members of parliament, for a period of 20 years from the commencement of constitution, English was decided to be used as official language. For official matters, English was to be used. Then the fourth point was that for examination of central services, all provincial languages should be placed on an equal footing. It means that no language should be given preference over the other one. That's Urdu should not be given preference over Bengali, neither Bengali should be given preference over Urdu or any other language. Provision should be made to teach Arabic, Urdu and Bengali in secondary schools. That means that all secondary schools were instructed to teach Arabic, the holy language of Muslims, and Urdu and Bengali, so that the children from their childhood must be able to understand these three languages, one being the symbol of Muslims and the other two from on the regional basis. And the sixth point was that the state should take measures to develop a common national language. It means it was the responsibility of state to take necessary measures to develop a common national language. A communication should be a commission should be appointed 10 years after commencement of constitution to make recommendations regarding replacement of English. It means that after the commencement of a constitution, after 10 years, a commission will be formed which will make an inquiry and then make recommendations regarding replacement of English with any other original language. And the eighth point was, notwithstanding in the foregoing articles, the federal legislature might by law provide for the use after the expiry of the period of 20 years from the commencement of constitution of the English language for such purpose as might be specified in the law. It means that without altering any of the above mentioned 7 articles, the federal legislature will decide after the 20 years that either the English should be replaced or not. And according to the 7th point, it was a commission has to be made which will make recommendations to the federal legislature, and federal legislature will decide about the replacement of English with any other original language. So it was the federal legislature which has to make the final decision. Now if we will analyze all those points, although they were accepted by the Constituent Assembly, but they could not satisfy anybody. They were unable to satisfy anybody because of so many points. For example, in a point we have already mentioned that state should try to develop a common language. Now the question is which language they will develop as a common language, either Urdu or Bengali. Bengalis will definitely say that state should try to develop Bengali as official language or common language of Pakistan, while from the western Pakistan, from West Pakistan, the people will say that Urdu should be developed and make common language of Pakistan. In such a tug of war between both wings, which language should be decided? That was not clearly mentioned in this formula. So it could not satisfy anybody. Neither it could satisfy Bengalis nor the Western Pakistanis. And if we will see from theoretical point of view, a multilingual state is not desirable, right? It's not good because it can create so many problems regarding the decision of the official language, but practically it is not so. Practically most of the states are multilingual because states are composed of so many families, so many villages, towns and cities, and the people from different backgrounds who are speaking different languages. In such case, it's practically a single lingual state, formation of a single lingual state is very difficult, and theoretical point of view it's not good. That happened with Pakistan because Pakistan was a multilingual state and it has to decide about its official language.